Hey guys, it's Dazs here. Today I want to focus a video on the following topics that will help you improve in any first-person shooter. I want to give a base on how to improve. This will not give you every single step, but it's just things that jump-started me most on my journey. The foundation is the most important part, and how you build from there, well, is really up to you. While I will be utilizing Battlefield as a focus, you can apply these tips in any shooter or platform. The footage used was from the test range on the new Battlefield incursions. I find it as a very helpful tool to help you, lab it up. Essentially, any game with a test range like Overwatch, CSGO, any creative test range, even PUBG custom servers or Battlefield are extremely helpful. And you're probably saying, what do I do if I do not have one? Well, going into an empty server, finding poles, signs, or windows that you can shoot is helpful. Or you can see a bullet mark to aim for the same spot again. For pinpoint accuracy for snipers, find a consistent object that won't explode and shoot stuff, close to the spawn for ammo purposes. For assault, you can utilize really any wall, just as long as you can see your spread. To further build muscle memory, a website for shooting targets called aimbooster.com is really what I like to use. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Use this till you create a level of speed and consistency. Then put your time into the game, as aim is different in a 3D space, and aim will be different on the desktop, obviously. The goal is to help you just really build muscle memory. We're going to cover overall the following in the video: understanding how to practice with important key points, positioning, and wrap up how to hit montage clips. First, I want to cover the keywords and help you figure out how you need to improve as a player. Then we will be covering practicing. First off, consistency. If you've been playing shooters for a while, make sure you match your sensitivity across all platforms. You do this by, the old-fashioned way of using a ruler and matching until you do a complete 360. And this is obviously for PC. Or utilize a site called mousesensitivity.com, which I'll also leave in the description down below. Muscle memory is important, and to understand it, you need to match everything. Once a pro, you can kind of, adjust your sensitivity on the fly. Console peeps, I know this will be a bit harder to match your sensitivity, but the best thing you can do for consoles is disable aim assist. Disable it. Aim assist is different in every single video game that you play, meaning your muscle memory is going to be very different. So if you play, Halo, and you switch over to Call of Duty, Battlefield, every single developer develops it differently. And it really just breaks up your flow of muscle memory, so disabling it sooner and trying to match your sensitivity is going to make you a better console player. Trust me, I've seen a lot of people disable it. It's rough at the start, but you really improve later. For PC, make sure your graphics settings are maximized to be consistent frame rate. For console and PC, just make sure you have a good connection. Even if it is a bad connection, as long as it's consistent, just have it be consistently bad, so then you can memorize, the frame lag or, leading your shots, things of that nature. And also your play area, where you sit and how you sit, and the monitor that you're using, just make sure everything is consistent. It helps you build muscle memory in the long run. So next up, we're going to cover practice. I will go more in depth with this, but essentially you need to understand that a 15 minutes of real practice versus practicing for 2 hours mindlessly, the better option is to practice for 15 minutes of real understanding. You will not notice you have improved because you will see your gameplay day in and day out, but over time you'll improve, and if you put your mind to it, you'll get better. It's like losing weight essentially. You just don't see it until, like a year has passed, and then all of a sudden you've lost 100 pounds. Just an extreme example. Even for those who say there's not enough time in the day, cut a play session shorter and boom, you now have more time, and effectively in the long run you become a way better player. Now for positioning. Having the best aim in the world is useless if you do not have good positioning. Honestly, people who aimbot are usually the worst players because they never learn that what positioning is. They usually just barrel out and make mistakes. It's how pros can outplay some people in CSGO that are aimbotting, unless they have a wall hack, and then in that case, then they're just kind of a complete dick. Overall, just don't cheat. You don't learn, it's a complete waste of your time. But there are bigger implications for cheating. Anyways, positioning is most important because I see those who practice their aim, but forget in shooters that this is even more important. If you have a good positioning, you obviously need to have good aim to back it up, and vice versa. See what your flaws are from this list and assess where you are as a player and work to adjust it. Looking up SWAT tactical movement is very helpful in learning positioning. The most important things to start you off on this journey are these key points. Slicing the pie, which is cutting the corners slowly, but make sure you put yourself in a 1v1 situation. Apply this to hills and terrain and, just anything. If you have lower hit spots, you're going to be, a higher percentage of winning the encounter. So if your full body is exposed versus somebody who maybe just has like their head peeking out, the person who's got the full body exposed is obviously probably going to die. Most likely. Depends on the skill of the player, obviously. Next is moving with purpose. Do not just barrel in, like I said before, or just make big mistakes. Always keep an eye out for your positioning, have good game sense, keep an eye out for teammates, because effectively this will get you in a better chance for getting kills. You can have the best aim in the world, but if you're just pushing in, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to constantly die. Barreling in could be effective as like a shock and awe for the enemy, but you have to do it very tactfully. So being tactful is key. And finally, record yourself so then you can see the mistakes that you're making whenever you're playing poorly. It's just kind of see where you went wrong. It doesn't have to be the most amazing footage, but if you learn from every single death, you'll become a better player. If you have one of those memories, more like a photographic, just recall the last 5 seconds and say to myself, hey, how did I die? Oh, I pushed in at that wrong moment. Or why did I go around the corner that soon? Or there was a tank there, why did I make that mistake? Now finally, it's confidence. Kind of slapping it all together. After doing all the work, you need to just let it fly. Trust the work that you've put in. And don't get frustrated, because frustration leads to muscle tension. Unless you thrive on high adrenaline, it's not going to get you more kills. I mean, if you have no confidence, then keep practicing until you are confident, until you just know it's second nature and there's nothing that can stop you. Now, all players fall into one of these categories. See which one, again, that you feel like you lack and try to improve on that. And again, I'm trying to give you a foundation to kind of build upon. These are things that I found, and I hope that you can learn from them. Now we get that out of the way, let's cover how do I practice? Well, simply put, putting in the time. By using a test range, practicing by starting slow on a target like we're doing here. Go slow, and slowly increase your speed for like a drag shot or for an aim. Go extremely slow at the start. Then slowly speed it up, to the point where it's so fast where you're missing. No matter how good of a player you are, you'll find to a point you'll meet the point of speed that is just too fast. And at that point, now you know your breaking point of where you need to sit with your aim, or at this point, probably just have better positioning for that encounter. So let's say you have an hour of day to play. Like we stated above, put 15 minutes before you play, and you find over a year you improve immensely. We kind of covered that. So play 3 of your favorite songs that are mellow or ones that pump you up after the session, and you'll find that it goes by really, really fast. Create different movement drills, drag shots, quick shots, and the works. To cover what those are, drag shots are where you move your mouse really quick. Quick shots can be like a quick scope. If you're on console, they're not really drag shots, but they're like whenever you move your controller cursor very, very quickly. So that's covered when you hear people say drag shots. This isn't a time to figure out what needs improving. And if you're unsure, just keep practicing the basics. And if you go over your footage, try to incorporate that into like a 15-minute session at the start of the day. Muscle memory is the focused. You don't need to think, just react. There's always this false understanding that the fastest reaction time in the world will make you a better player. It does not. Having stronger muscle memory does, so you're not thinking. The fastest possible conscious human being reacts about 0.5 of a second, and most are around 0.2, meaning that the thing you can improve the most is your muscle memory. Do not think, so then you just react, and you're always going to be around that area of reaction. That's the thing you want to improve the most. Earlier adopters will find that you're just thinking too much in situations. You want to get rid of this tendency. Apply anything you're good at and where you're just kind of like free-flowing. That's the state of mind that you want to be at because you practice so much. Whether it's a sport, whether it's acting, whether it's singing, whether, you know, it's just a side hobby, or whether it's just building model cars or something like that. You kind of get into a zone, and that's a zone that you need to find whenever you game. I know this is a lot, but I want to focus next down on breaking a montage clip and Battlefield. This can be applied to other games in terms of mindset, but it's essentially to keep you on that kill train. The point stack or kill feed in other games is what you want to keep for a clip. If you don't, well, it isn't the end of the world. Upload your footage and keep improving, and let people join on the journey as you improve, and you will see over the course of a year, you finally look back and say, I did get better. First off, aim in the test range to hit 2 targets in a row quickly without missing. If you can't hit one, well, start small. Make goals obtainable. And this here in the test range, the footage is obviously what I'm showing in slow motion. Now, the biggest thing I see people struggle with is keeping calm. Do not start freaking out once you get 3 kills in a row. Keep plowing through as you're getting a clip and celebrate only after you have done it. You never know how you can keep things up, like hitting a second plane snipe or possibly killing another person after maybe the 5th kill or the 6th kill or the 7th, etc, etc. Be efficient. Hence why the term shoutout in most clips is go on, keep going. You don't take the lead in the race and just stop running. Usually in the clip, in the first 2 or 3 kills, you want to play it safe for the cleanest positioning because you want to keep your health at max and you want to assess the situation. Because for the 4th and 5th kill, etc., the amount of kills you need to put, well, you need to put yourself out there. And you need to find them quickly, meaning that you have to play aggressively and put yourself in a bad positioning. But at this point, unless you started, you know, with a feed or a flank or you shotgun all and you're mopping up the room, this is the most general approach that you're going to take. Overall, move tactfully, but go for a high risk because you'll run out of time to find additional targets to keep the kill feed or the point stack. And also, this goes to your advantage because they'll most likely panic because 3 people have just died. This goes with the shotgun all tactic. It is very intimidating to see an enemy where you are just mowing down people. Puts you at a clean advantage. So do yourself the favor and do not panic. Here are 3 clips slowed down. A dual plane snipe, one that is kind of like a flank, one that is just playing aggressively switching to a sidearm. I really hope that you found these tips helpful. The biggest thing is just to build a strong foundation. I hope that you guys found it useful. If you have questions, you can always hop on my stream or ask a comment down in the comment section below. There's always those clickbait titles overall where they say get good in like 10 minutes. This is a true way just to improve, and it can really work across all games. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.